Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video I have a few races on Daily Race B of this week in GT7, and I hope you guys enjoy. Alrighty, starting with race 1, starting in P7. Under pressure from the guy behind, going into turn 1 and turn 2. Went a little bit wide, which invites him to slip up my inside, kind of pushes me off of the track just a little bit. But Rubbins is racing, and then I will push him right back. Get in that position back, get my elbows out. First few corners went pretty well, not too bad. Going down the straight, we're going to look behind and see 3 abreast. 3 cars in a row, which you do not see on this circuit, which is Laguna Seca. That's the words. Anyways, looking forward, trying to get the best exit out of this corner to keep the maximum speed up. Didn't get the best exit that I wanted. Hopefully gonna try to look for a move. Broke just a little bit late, tapping the guy in the rear, which I did not mean to. So in that case, I will gladly give that position back to him. So at the end of the first lap, I have technically lost 1 position from where I started. And then you're going to see the guy behind me with the very low ping just lag all across the track, and then completely just go flying off the track. Obviously his internet was just going crazy and not having the best time for everyone else around him. Heading back into turn 1, trying to close the gap to the guy in front, as well as defending from the guy behind, as you can tell by the radar. Keep in mind, this is the first race that I did this week, so it's not going to be the best. Taking the corners a little too wide, still trying to get used to 1, the car, and then 2, the track. Setting the fastest first sector, but it's only lap 2, so that's not really something you can take into account. Anyways, focusing on trying to get up into that P7 spot, trying to keep the speed up as much as possible through this corner. As you can see, the guy to the right just completely goes off the track, went a little bit too fast into that corner, and then got off onto the dirt, and it was over from there. And then as you can see, guy off to the right also just took the downhill chicane a little too wide and went flying off into the gravel trap. So within the span of 2 to 3 corners, I gained 2 positions. Heading into the final corner onto the main straight, looking towards P5. Looks like P7 is just a little too far gone, or I mean too far behind, that's what I meant to say. Let's see if I can try to get a good exit out of turn 2. Not the greatest, not the worst. Still trying to figure out the car and my braking zones. As you take a look behind us, you will see the one, the only, infamous Stig. Now that is putting a lot of pressure on me, as you can tell by I'm making plenty of mistakes. I am terrified that the Stig is breathing down my neck. Will we hold off the infamous Stig? Only time will tell. But also trying to keep an eye in front, trying to get those positions gained. Went a little bit wide, got my tires on the dirt, which does not help our pace whatsoever. Going into the downhill corkscrew, broke a little tad bit late, and then unfortunately just got the line completely wrong and completely off track. The pressure of having the Stig behind me got to me, and it was the worst case possible. Heading to the start of lap 4, all the way down to P10 after that spin. Hopefully we can make up a few more positions before the end of the race. Trying to maximize the time lost to the cars ahead of me, as well as trying to defend to the guy behind me as well, which I just said. Anyways, as you will see, this race gets very heated very quickly. Coming through this fast left-hander, getting a good exit, gaining a lot of time to the guys in front. As you can see, 3 cars are clearly ahead of us. Coming down into the downhill corkscrew, just trying to break my, or find my braking point, get a good line, try not to spin out. Going into the last sector, there are plenty of cars ahead of us that we could get positions gained. As you see, one guy went a little bit wide onto the dirt, which compromised his line. Going into the last corner, trying to keep this guy at bay, as well as maybe possibly getting another position in front. The guy in 6th place was serving a penalty. We are heading on to the last lap of the race with P6, P5 well ahead of us that we could get, and also maybe get back ahead of the Stig. On the exit of this corner, the Stig goes a little bit wide, gets his tires on the dirt, which does not help him, and almost loses it, but he holds on to it because he's the Stig. But the guy in P7 goes completely off track, loses him a bunch of time. Gonna see if I can go around the outside, maybe do a little bit of a switchback. Oh, almost loses it, but luckily he catches it. Then kind of pushes me off a little bit, but I sneak down the inside and up right behind the Stig. Hopefully we can get him into this corkscrew. Spot my braking point, trying to find the right line, went a little bit deep, and then unfortunately got onto the gravel, which lost us 2 positions. But are we able to maybe gain one more before the end of the race? Guy in P9 went a little bit wide, got onto the dirt, completely loses it, and then no, this Stig is off. This Stig is off. All carnage is breaking loose. Everyone is off, but unfortunately we only come home in P9 at the end of that race. What a crazy finish to that race. Alright, switching gears to the second race, starting in P8 with the infamous Stig yet again behind us, trying to look for a possible move into turn 1 or 2, kind of a little too far back, trying to go wide, take the wider line, get more power out of the second corner. Fortunately, it didn't really work to our favor. Did run it just a tad bit wide. Looks like it's all starting to pop off in front of us with little mistakes from drivers here and there. Trying to keep the speed up through this corner to make sure I'm in the slipstream. Unfortunately, I was not able to get the best exit, so I'm going to have to defend from the Stig. Right up behind this guy, coming in to the fast left-hander. Let's see if I can keep the speed up and possibly make a move into the downhill chicane. Could have done a little bit better keeping the speed up, but let's see what we can do. Spot my braking point. Oh, there's a gap. I go for it. Oh, bunch of contact coming in. Almost get spun out, but luckily I was able to catch it. Coming to the end of the first lap. Overall, gained 2 positions. Hopefully trying to gain a few more before the end of the race. Trying to get a good exit out of this last corner onto the main straight. I could have carried just a little bit more speed through that exit. Unfortunately, that's going to put me under pressure from behind from the Stig. Going to look behind. Oh, unfortunately, he has a 0.5 second penalty, so unfortunately, he probably ran wide. Jump forward a little bit to the middle of lap 2. The guy in front going through that fast left-hander unfortunately did not carry the speed all the way. Possibly going to look for an overtake opportunity into this chicane. Just trying to take it nice and easy, making sure I'm not trying to spin out or anything like that, lose grip. Setting a purple second sector, but with it being lap 2, you really can't look into that. Still trying to keep the speed up through this last sector. Try to get a good exit out of this last corner onto the main straight. Not too bad, not too bad. Gonna tuck up behind this guy into a slipstream, possibly gonna look for an overtake opportunity into turn 1 and 2. Spotter braking point. Again, I take a little bit wider line, trying to get straight up on the exit of turn 2 to get the power down as soon as possible. Fortunately, didn't get a great exit, as well as this corner. I just completely missed the apex, so that's going to lose me a fair amount of time to the cars in front. Hopefully, I can clean up this lap to make up some more time before the end of the race and possibly get a top 5 finish. Going to try and take this corner nice and easy, trying to get on the power as soon as possible. Could have done a little bit better job coming to the fast left-hander. Let's see if I can carry the speed. Unfortunately, I could have done a little bit better at carrying the speed through that corner. Right now, I am pushing flat out, trying to make up time. And then, as you will see, I just completely outbrake myself and just go flying off the track into the gravel trap. And that's going to cost me a position. And with that mistake, obviously, I was not able to catch up to the guys in front. So we're going to jump forward to the end of the race. And, yeah, I mean, stupid little mistake. Misjudged my braking point. But you live and you learn. Looks like the guy in 6th had a horrid time through that downhill chicane. Let's see if we can possibly make up one last position before the end of the race. Trying to carry the speed as much as possible. The guys in front kind of dirty tires. Have a good exit. Oh, he went a little bit wide. Try to get on the power as soon as possible. But unfortunately, it looks like we are going to come home in a P7, which is one spot ahead of where we started, which is improvement. Alright, hopping right back into a race 3, starting P3. In this race, I decided to go with the Renault R01, I believe it's called. Let's see if it can do any better than the Honda, was it the NSX, I believe, or something? Anyways, doesn't really matter. Looking for opportunities to come to overtake in this opening lap. Guy in first place goes completely wide. Looks like first and second are going to be fighting through this corner. Almost loses it off the corner of that, which is going to give us an opportunity to gain 2 positions in one straight. As you can see, the guy on the right hand side just misjudges his braking point, goes a little bit wide. So at the end of the first 2 major sectors, or 1.5 sectors, I am in the lead. I gained 2 positions. Let's see how this first meeting with the downhill chicane goes. Ran just a tad bit wide, so as you see, I kind of went off the throttle a little bit. That way I did not get a penalty, which does invite P2 and P3 into the mix. Again, just trying to keep up the speed through those 2 corners, spot braking point, and then get a good exit out of the last corner into the main straight, because P2 and 3 are right behind me and they are also jostling for position. Gonna go a little defensive into turn 1 and 2, just making sure that I don't get dive bombed, which if you look in the radar almost did. He was right on my tail, definitely giving me a run for my money. Not off the greatest corner. Gonna get on the dirt and gravel a little bit with dirty tires. Gonna try to go around the outside and hold my line, but unfortunately with the dirty tires it's gonna push me off, and I'm just gonna completely bend it into the barrier and lose all of that motivation. Skipping forward a little bit, as you can see, I am P13 with a whole group of cars in front of me. So hopefully we can make up a few more positions by the end of the race. It looks like we may have a little time. For some reason, going completely wide with also, again, still dirty tires from my accident beforehand. Coming down to the downhill chicane, again, dirty tires, not the best line through there, but it looks like there's going to be a few cars having offs off the track. We're going to be gaining 1 position. Guy in front goes completely off, possibly going to be gaining 2. Goes wide. Yep, there is a second place gain within a few corners. Back up to P11, trying to get a good exit out of this corner to get into the slipstream as much as possible. And as you can see, looks like a group of 3 to 4 cars in front, so we could possibly get in the top 10 if everything goes to plan. Looks like they are definitely wanting to fight for position. Oh, big snap of oversteer. Again, not taking the best corner there. Looks like the green Porsche was off just a tad bit, setting a purple first sector, my apologies. Trying to get into the slipstream, possibly going to look for a move into this this medium speed corner. Oh, and looks like the guy just did not get on the power as soon as possible, so I was able to go around the outside of him into the fast left-hander. Go a little bit wide. Possibly going to look into a overtake in the chicane. making sure I don't want to outbrake myself or get the bad line, so to speak. Porsche was a little bit iffy, got in the dirt a little bit. Unfortunately, he would be getting a 0.5 second penalty for that little excursion into the dirt. Got a little contact, but we're going to be looking for an overtake, dive bombing him into the last corner. Be at the apex first, and then onto the power, and then guy in front in 8th got a horrible exit, did not get on the power when it was optimal, and then I go flying up on the inside on this straight. Gonna go a little defensive into turn 1 and 2, making sure I don't want to get dive bombed again. Holding my line, making sure again, not trying to get dive bombed. Possibly looking for an opportunity to maybe get P6 or 7, setting the fastest first sector. Trying to take this corner just nice and easy. Got on the dirt just a tad bit, but nothing too major. Let's see if I can get this line through this corner pretty good. Not too bad. Got a little oversteer. I was able to catch it. Again, trying to get into the slipstream from the car in front. Spot my braking point. Got a little too close for him. Got a pretty good exit out of that corner as well. Setting a fastest optimal sector 2. Keeping the speed up into this corner as well. Maybe looking for a dive bomb through the last corner. A little too far back, but I'm just going to set myself up for an overtake along the straight. As we come across the line, I do set the fastest lap of the race. Heading on to the final lap of the race. Going to look for an opportunity to possibly overtake. But it looks like the guy in front just gets all sorts of out of shape and just pretty much bottles the first and second corner. I'm gonna try and look for possibly getting an opportunity to be up into P6 by the end of the race. I am the fastest man on the circuit right now. Let's see if I can bring this guy in and possibly get that P6. Getting a pretty good exit out of that corner. Let's see how we do in the fast left-hander. Not too bad. Could have carried a little bit more speed. Are we going to try to make an overtake into the downhill chicane? Not quite. But I'm almost pushing him through that corner. Didn't get the best of exits out of that chicane either. Again, just trying to keep up the speed as much as possible. Let's see if I am able to bring this guy into my arms. I don't know what I'm saying. Oh, just shy. But unfortunately, it looks like he is going to be able to hold me off. And I'm going to be coming home in a P7. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video.